Paul
superhero.
Walker will be the first AI actor they bring back in a movie. Okay,
No.
they'll do it in a fast series.
Is he going to do a
No, that was
do a
Star
reboot
Wars.
of Crash?
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh.
Oh God. That movie.
What?
Oh.
No, stop it.
Yeah, I think you should walk that back.
Yeah, if he tried to live up to his last name, he might be allowed.
Nerdrotic.com.
Writer strike fears and studio cutbacks cause filming slowdown in Los Angeles. Yes.
Gary, why are you getting like Lubriderm ads in the side of the margins there?
Wow.
Wait a minute.
I think as soon as Gary saw that Hollywood's shutting down, he immediately had to fucking beat it.
As much as I would love to take responsibility for that, Garrett, who's sharing this article right now?
That's me. Olay.
Okay, there you
Oh
go.
shit!
Whoa.
The plot
Now
thickens. Now who's masturbating?
There you go. A wave of cutbacks and layoffs at studios, coupled with the fears of an impending writer strike, slowed Hollywood production for a third consecutive quarter. On-location filming production in Greater Los Angeles fell 24% to 7,476 shoots a day. In the meantime, there's 7,476 crack addicts walking around freaking downtown Beverly Hills right now, which is kind of funny. Days from the same period last year, according to Film LA, the nonprofit that handles film permits for the city and county. That's down 17% from the region's 5-year first quarter average, Film LA said in a Wednesday report. The biggest decline was in TV production, which had driven a rebound in the industry, probably due to streaming blowing up for like a minute, and that bubble has burst in the wake of shutdowns forced by the COVID-19 pandemic. Forced by Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom shut the state down, and the mayors shut the state down. COVID's still around, and things aren't shut down. So isn't that weird? So it was they shut it down. But Gavin Newsom's way too busy trying to troll Ron DeSantis while people are getting stabbed to death in his own state.
Well, he's just trying to get some outreach going to California voters because they've all left to Florida,
Right.
for Christ's sake. Yeah, I think the state flag is now a U-Haul.
Many Hollywood studios have been reining in investments in content, laying off hundreds of workers in an effort to stem losses on their streaming platforms. I am so sad reading this, by the way.
Oh,
This is so sad.
Darn.
The cost cutting comes as producers engage in talks with writers over pay and working conditions. With members of the Writers Guild of America.
Are they actually striking for less pay because the dog shit?
Maybe.
I like hearing just the lowest of the low on the worker totem pole to get fired. That sucks, because the people that should be getting fired are all the upper management executives and all. They're not getting fired. They're not leaving. Right. They're staying. The people that are getting fired are the people on the bottom, the grips, the lighting guy, the camera operator, the craft service employee. Those people are getting fired.
The cleaner.
Even the writers to a degree. I mean, the way writing works in Hollywood is literally like, here's our idea, you're going to write it. Right. So even the terrible, odious, revisionist writers, a lot of them aren't generating these ideas. Right. So you get it. I feel for them on some levels.
I have a hard time wrapping my head around a writers guild. We don't need writers. You don't work in a salt mine. So where was I? With members of the Film Actors Guild of this week voting overwhelmingly.
Film Actors Guild?
The Film Actors Guild. Yeah, I did that on purpose. This week voting overwhelmingly to authorize leaders to call a strike if a deal can't be reached on May 1st. Matt Damon. Matt Damon. The uncertainty has made some companies reluctant to start production on shows.
No shit.
Yeah, it's not stopping bad Star Trek from continuing after we got a little bit of good Star Trek. But as companies have cut back on either the amount of shows that they're doing, or has anybody noticed them cutting back, though? I mean, there's been some cancellations, but remember back in the day, kids, remember for us old folks, even the young folks, you knew what shows were coming out. There was like fewer networks, and then it got to about 100 shows were being produced. You know how many shows are being produced? I lost count. It was after 500. 500 TV shows are being produced a year. It's well over that now. Fucking insane.
It's like that with manga as well. They just produce tons and tons of it, and occasionally you'll get a Golden Goose. Once in a while, you'll get a Dragon Ball and Naruto, but there's so much manga we don't hear about because they just keep trying. And a lot of what happens in like film and stuff, the budgets are so high, they're not willing to take the risks to try out weird new things. So if you bring your budgets down and like maybe, you know, a Twilight Zone, something like that, it was, I don't know how much that cost at the time, but they were just filming on like in backyards on, you know, with basic sets and crap, you know, props and stuff. Like a lot of us in the indie scene, we've been trying to get into the industry for years and years. And for whatever reason, we can't get in. And then you got something like a book made by two people or one person in some cases, and it can break such a high budget, and the creators don't even know what to do with such a budget, so they just roll it into the next book. Why not take those risks?
That's probably why Hollywood, when they come up with a trend that doesn't cost much and makes shitloads of money, they just, like, remember when the found footage thing came out like a few years ago, and it was like, Jesus, what are we up to? Like Insidious Part Pi, right? Like it's just, we just keep going. And whenever you find something like that, dude, they ride that till the legs fall off.
Reality TV. I mean, it started right around a strike 20, 30 years ago, and then it just elevated during 2008, the 2008, I think it was 2008, 2009 strike.
Seven, I think.
Seven, yeah. And it blew up to another level, and it'll be back, and that stuff still gets, I mean, it's the cheapest to make. It makes the most money.
Yeah,
It's
I was
like
going to
the-
say, according to Az, it peaked with MILF Manor.
Yes.
That's the event horizon.
Yes.
The way that you would find good stories anyways, like novels, comics, low budget stuff. Take The Walking Dead, for instance. It had a micro budget when it started. And because it snowballed, they knew, oh, we could turn this into a TV show. So comics and novels were the foundation of a lot of great stories that, okay, let's take Game of Thrones, this obscure story that no one's heard of, and then we'll give it a massive budget because it's a good story, because one guy sat in his room for years trying to plan out this really intricate story. And I know Game of Thrones, touchy topic, but like, look what happened with Star Wars. Let's just give them a bazillion-dollar budget, and we don't have a story yet, but we'll figure it out as we go because we can't fail. It's too big to fail. And then it does, and then they're more risk averse because, we can't figure out what went wrong because the story is the backbone of the project. And if you don't have a good story, don't even begin funding it.
George, what went wrong was the fans were obviously racist. That's what went wrong.
That's what it was, clearly.
And sexist.
Sexist, racist.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.
Hey, if you like what we do here at Nerdrotic Daily, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you could do that with your favorite YouTuber as well, I'm sure they would appreciate it as much as I do.